What really happens when a country goes bankrupt? Not a company, not a person, an entire nation. You wake up one morning. Your bank is closed, your money is worthless, and officials appear on TV saying, "We can't pay our debts." It sounds impossible, doesn't it? But it's happened over 250 times in modern history. Russia, Argentina, Greece, Iceland, even the mighty British Empire once raised the white flag of default. So what actually happens when a nation goes broke? Who loses? Who wins? And most importantly, where does the money go? Every default begins the same way. Not with fear, but with denial. Politicians say, everything's under control. Economists call it a temporary slowdown. And the public wants to believe them. But by then, the system's arteries are already clogged. Debt is the bloodstream of a modern economy. Governments use it to pay salaries, build infrastructure, and service old loans. But the moment investors lose confidence, the blood flow stops, and the countdown begins. Banks shut down temporarily, foreign capital flees. The currency crashes. In Argentina's 2001 collapse, ATMs ran dry within days. People broke into banks just to get their own savings back. In Greece, during the 2015 crisis, citizens were limited to €60 a day. This wasn't just about numbers. It was about people, food, water, medicine, electricity, hope, all tied to one invisible thing called trust, and that trust had just vanished. But not everyone loses. Some wait, calmly, in the middle of the storm. When a nation collapses, money doesn't disappear. It simply moves. The only question is, into whose hands? When a country goes bankrupt, the government isn't the first to feel the pain. The people are. Salaries collapse, savings vanish, prices explode. But at the same time, others start to profit. Foreign funds and big investors move in. They're called vulture funds, because they buy the debt of dying nations for pennies on the dollar. And when the country recovers, they sell it back for a fortune. In 2001, Argentina defaulted on $100 billion. Years later, Wall Street funds sued the country in U.S. courts, and won. Argentina ended up paying even more than before the default. Meanwhile, local billionaires had already moved their money abroad. When the dust settled, they came back, buying land and companies for a fraction of their old price. The poor lost their jobs. The middle class lost their savings. And the rich, they just waited and got richer. When a nation defaults, pain isn't shared equally. It's transferred. And those who see it coming always win. But every default ends the same way, not with justice, but with forgiveness. Creditors restructure. The IMF steps in, and austerity begins. In 1998, Russia defaulted. Its bonds became worthless. Yet 5 years later, it was back on global markets. Greece went bankrupt in 2015, but never left the Eurozone. Argentina? It's gone bankrupt 9 times, and still borrows money. Why? Because in global finance, no one stays dead for long. As long as you agree to follow the rules, to cut spending, to privatize, to obey, you're welcomed back. Debt isn't just money, it's power. And that power reshapes nations. When a country goes bankrupt, it doesn't disappear. It's simply reprogrammed. When a person goes bankrupt, they lose their credit. When a country goes bankrupt, it loses its independence. Every national default comes with new conditions, new overseers, and a quiet surrender of sovereignty. That's why economists say a nation can default, but it will never again own its own economy. Debt isn't just a financial tool, it's a mechanism of control. The more you owe, the less you decide, and the cycle never ends. Nations borrow, collapse, recover, and borrow again. Because this system isn't built on repayment, it's built on belief. So what really happens when a nation goes bankrupt? People suffer, the system adapts, and someone, somewhere, always gets richer. The only thing that truly defaults is trust. In the world of money, collapse isn't the end, it's just a reset. This is numisma, the unseen story of money, belief, and power.